Hello everybody, welcome back to Loket in the Czech Republic for the MXGP of Czech Republic here, round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. My name's Paul Malin, thanks for joining us for our broadcast throughout the day today for the latest stage in the World Championship, which is now nearing its end. Just a few more races to go in the 2022 season. But the Czech Republic venue here in Loket, been hosting Grand Prix now since 1995. This one is the 25th edition. And Tim Geiser, the current championship leader in MXGP, has never won here, but he'll be looking to change that stat here today. His closest rival, Jorge Prado, though, coming into this weekend, has won here on 3 occasions, 2018, 19 and 21, so the last 3 visits to this racetrack. Be interesting to see how this particular battle plays out, but there's been a spanner thrown in the works today because, as you'll see from the highlights of race 1, somebody else might just want to join them on the win list, or maybe even win it for the first time himself. More on that in just a moment, but that's a quick look at the racetrack, just under 1,600 meters long. Jorge Prado victorious here last year. He's still in with a shout of winning it here this weekend as well. But we've had a fantastic atmosphere. Crowd have been treated to some wonderful racing, and we are probably going to get more of the same in race 2. It's a hard, slick racetrack. Here's what happened in race 1. Over on the left-hand side, number 3, Roman Febvre, taking a chance, but it was Jeremy Seewer who grabbed the Fox Holeshot for the second time this year, but then he was quickly beaten to turn 2 by Jorge Prado. Geiser was in there too, so too Renault and Coldenhoff. Mitch Evans not too far behind, and also the rider in blue and white of Calvin Valandren, as it got a little bit fruity in there at times as Geiser tried to close in on Prado. He left the door open though, and Seewer came barging through. That was on lap 4 of 19. Fans on their feet, and especially on that corner because there's a whole house full of Swiss fans, which is where Seewer, the number 91 on the Yamaha, is from, as he gave chase to Jorge Prado. He made this move though, he worked it about 4 corners before that to make the pass stick there, as Jed Beaton went out with broken spokes in the front wheel. Wasn't sure why or how it happened. Top of your screen, the battle for second changed. Prado got held up in turn at the end of the pit lane area, and Geiser went through. There was more misery for Prado as well, as Renault went through. That put him up into 3rd place. That's where he would stay. And then Roman Febvre from 8th would eventually drop back down to 15th, as Guadagnini and a whole bunch of other riders came charging through. So obviously some issue there in that respect. Coldenhoff on Prado as well. That got him into 4th. But it was Jeremy Seewer who crossed the line for his 14th career win, his 3rd of the season, ahead of Tim Geiser, Maxim Renault, Coldenhoff and Prado. And that was MXGP race 1. Let's go down to Lisa. Here she is with Paul Jonas, the standing construct Husqvarna rider.
We are almost ready for the final race of the day. I'm actually ready now, Paul. MXGP race 2 is about to come up, but let's speak to standing construct Husqvarna, Paul Jonas. Paul's quite a tough first race. I know it was a difficult start for you, and you were pretty much playing catch-up the whole time, weren't you?
Yeah, unfortunately I went down in the first corner with a few other guys, and then had to come from almost dead last, and managed to finish 12th, which is, quite okay considering that I went down in the start. But, like this track is quite difficult to pass, and it took a while to get past some other riders. But, feeling was good, speed was good, and now hopefully I can get a better start in the second moto and battle up front.
You mentioned this track. It's a very old school track, hard pack, long straight, start straight, uphills, downhills. Does get slippery, very hard pack. Perfect training for Lommel next weekend.
Yeah, it's just exactly the same like Lommel, But yeah, this is actually one of the few old school tracks which are left in calendar. Okay, we go next week to Lommel. That's also been so many years in calendar, but okay, that's completely different. And this is some sketchy bumps, slippery, so you need to take care and ride with quite low RPM. And then next week in Lommel, it's going to be a completely different story.
Have a good race. Thanks, Paul. Okay, good luck to all the guys. It's time for MXGP race 2.
Nice little tongue-in-cheekism there from Lisa to PJ. Of course, yeah, nothing like Lommel, but you know what? You couldn't get any further between the two conditions within the 2 weeks that we are on the tour at the moment. Hard pack, slick, edgy here, hilly. Lommel, flat, car park, but rough at the end of the weekend. They will know they've done a Grand Prix. Here's how the riders line up ahead of race 2 in terms of the championship. Tim Geiser on 5.57, and Jeremy Seewer now up to second place, 127 points behind. He's leapfrogged Jorge Prado, and Maxime Renault and Glenn Coldenhoff rounding out the top 5. Good to see Renault back in the mix today. No Ruben Fernandez if you weren't with us in race 1, because he crashed in time practice yesterday. Bit of a bang, beat himself up, massive gash in the arm as well. But here's the calendar. We are working through it very, very quickly indeed, aren't we? Back to back this weekend here in Belgium, a week off, Sweden, Finland, France, and then a week off, then Turkey and Oman, the final 2 rounds. But it's been a fantastic day's racing here so far, and we are set for more of that to continue. Race 1 was pretty decent. Jeremy Seewer took the lead on lap 7. He brought it home about 12 laps later as a race winner for the 3rd time this year, ahead of the championship leader Tim Geiser, Maxime Renault and Glenn Coldenhoff. So the 3 Yamahas inside the top 4. Here's how the riders line up for MXGP Race 2. Jeremy Seewer has had a good day so far, hasn't he? He won the qualifying race yesterday. He got the Fox Holeshot, and then he went on to win race 1. Is there going to be more of the same for him in race 2 as he lines up first behind the gate? Tim Geiser will go alongside him, and then Jorge Prado, Glenn Coldenhoff, Paul Jonas, Maxime Renault, Mattia Guadagnini and Mitch Evans. And then it's Watson, Verlanderen, Ferrato, Van Horbeek, Romain Fevre, Valentin Guillot, Jordi Tixier, Bogers, and the rest of the guys. So the start list then, with everybody taking their positions behind the gate. Romain Fevre went all the way over to the left-hand side as we look down to the right. But Jeremy Seewer, Monster Energy Yamaha, won the qualifying race yesterday. Fox Holeshot in race 1, a race win today. He'll be looking to do the same again in race 2. Might have a bit of stiff competition from Team HRC's Tim Geiser though. Second in the first race. He's never won here, remember. He'll be looking to stand on the top step of the podium for the first time in Loket. Glenn Coldenhoff, 4th in race 1. Definitely got a good shout of being on the podium in one way or another. What step will it be, though? Likewise for his teammate, back from injury this weekend, Maxime Renault, reigning MX2 World Champion, surprising everybody with his swift return to action. There's Ben Watson lined up there in the 919. Interesting to see where his teammate is this time. Jorge Prado, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing, 5th in race 1. He led for the first 6 laps. He was second for the next 3, and then he spent another couple of laps falling down to 4th before eventually coming home in 5th place. Then Mitch Evans, great ride for the Australian, the HRC stablemate to Tim Geiser, 6th in race 1. Is there going to be more of the same or better for the Aussie? 33 riders started or finished race 1. 36 started over the course of the weekend. Last year's winner here, Mattia Guadagnini, Red Bull Gas. He was 8th in race 1 earlier. What can he do in race 2? And Henry Jacobi, he'll be trying to improve on 16th for JM Honda Racing. Atmosphere has been building ahead of MXGP Race 2. Round 13, the MXGP of Czech Republic. We are here at Loket. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time. In fact, I don't even know if I saw Romain Fevre down there behind the gate. No, he's not there. So obviously having problems in race 1 and not lining up for race 2. Gate drops in. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Who will it be that grabs that all-important Fox Holeshot? Jeremy Seewer again, or was it? Oh, I think it was just around the outside. It was tight between him and Guadagnini as Renault or Coldenhoff bounce up into second position. It's Renault. Coldenhoff right there as well in third place. Fourth position as he rounds out. It's a Yamaha 1-2-3 as they hit the line at the first time of asking. Seewer with his third Fox Holeshot of the campaign. Or, well, it was either Guadagnini or it was either Prado. We'll check that in a moment. It was very, very tight from the drone cam anyway, but it's definitely Seewer who leads the way. Maxime Renault second, Geiser quickly into third. Coldenhoff being pushed back into fourth place. So Tim Geiser exactly where he wants to be if he is going to challenge for the top step of the podium. But Jeremy Seewer, who was masterful in race one, doing what he did in race one, Holeshot, but if you remember in race one, Prado and Geiser were quickly past him, and he spent the first 3 or 4 laps behind Geiser, another few laps behind Prado. It wasn't until, and he makes a mistake there, and he's going to be out-dragged here by Maxime Renault. Renault leads on the opening lap. Geiser there in third position. Now he has Seewer right there. Seewer just looks so comfortable on these conditions though. Tight line for the number 91 there. Tries to get alongside his teammate. They both pop the triple into turn 2. Seewer was a little short there. Geiser tight to the inside. Paul Jonas, bike problems for him apparently, down in 31st position, has not come around on this opening lap. His teammate though, where's Brian Bogus in all of this? He's in 12th place. But over the line at the end of the first lap, Maxime Renault leads. Seewer second, Geiser third, Coldenhoff fourth. Mitch Evans coming through now there in 5th place for Team HRC. He's got Prado, Guadagnini beaten, Guillot and Van Donnick behind him. The Landron is in 11th place, ahead of Bogus and Jacoby. Watson is down. The 322 caught in that as well. And that was Pavel Repchak. Not sure who the other rider was. Might have been Wasocki maybe. But Maxime Renault, first race back from injury, as Seewer had to correct massively there, after catching an edge. And this is why Maxime Renault finds himself leading. Watch this, coming out of the turn, Seewer comfortably in, then messes up on the exit look, just stuffs the back end in, breaks traction on him. A drag race between the two factory Yamahas. Renault into the lead. Did not need a second invite, and he's already making a run for it as well. Here's Seewer second. Third is Geiser. Coldenhoff is next, but Evans looks like he's gaining in the background, you know. There's Geiser third. Yeah, look, the rider in red, the second rider in red, all over the back of Coldenhoff as he challenges 4th place. Håkan Fredriksson. Oh, huge crash for Håkan Fredriksson. Wow. Newcomer to MXGP this weekend, Honda 114 Motorsports. That was a big hit. That's a tough weekend for the Honda 114 team as well, with Fernandez out and now Håkan Fredriksson. And the Wave medical flags are out as well for him. No surprise there. Maxime Renault continues to lead though. Beaten up to 7th for F&H Kawasaki. Finds his way past Mattia Guadagnini. The gap between Renault and Jeremy Seewer, more than 3 seconds at the moment. Maxime Renault went 1-1 in Spain. That was his last race win, and he continues to do it here. Tim Geiser, Team HRC, championship leader Of course, the rider that is 127 points behind him in the chase before today is ahead of him. Just hearing that Paul Jonas crashed actually at the bottom end of the circuit. So not bike problems for the standing construct Husqvarna. It was a crash at the bottom of the hill first lap. And that was at the bottom end where the Monster Energy jump is into that right-hander, where Nick Lapucci tried to land on the rooftop in the free practice yesterday and ended up breaking his nose. The catch fenton did its job that time. But you can get one or two kickers down that bottom end of the circuit. So it was either down there or the city jump stepping up into the right turn, but bottom end of the circuit anyway for Paul Jonas. Still wave flags being waved for the riders as they come through because of the incident with Håkan Fredriksson. So riders bottom end of the circuit, Jeremy Seewer still circulating in second position. Back marker ahead of him. He's got a little bit of space between himself and Tim Geiser. But 23 minutes, can he do anything about his teammate though? That's the big question. Jeremy Seewer rails the turn at the top of the hill. He had about 3 seconds of a buffer between himself and Maxime Renault, the race leader. Will there be any question marks over the fitness of Maxime Renault, yes or no? He said he wasn't 100% when he came back yesterday, but he does need to start somewhere. But he took the advantage at the first time of asking when his teammate made that mistake. Seewer will still win the Grand Prix and Renault will be second overall. Geiser would be third if things stay as they are. Beaton just flashed an interview in the background a moment ago as we pop up over the finish line jump, and 43 Mitch Evans, back marker between him and Jorge Prado, those two 5th and 6th. Beaton just behind them for F&H Kawasaki in 7th place. Back to green flags then around this part of the racetrack. Hopefully Håkan Fredriksson is okay. Hit the ground hard there, of course chewed up by his wheels as well probably. Good showing this from Jed Beaton, just behind Jorge Prado. Obviously didn't finish the first race, damaged spokes, not sure how, the team said, or when it happened, but here's Jed Beaton now just dropping into view, the F&H Kawasaki rider, the Australian. 17th in the championship at the moment. Best result of the year was 5-7 at the opening Grand Prix, Matterley Basin, that got him 6th overall. Picked up an injury in Lombardia at round 2, where he argued with a bit of trackside furniture, let's say, wrecked his shoulder. He even missed 3 rounds, didn't he, in the mid part of the season. So he's slowly working his way back to fitness and getting himself back into contention. And a result here, anywhere inside the top sort of 10, if you like, will do him a world of good. And it'll just reinstill just a little bit of self-confidence, especially when he's got Jorge Prado just ahead of him. And if he can latch on to the former 2-time MX2 world champion, then who knows? Might just drag him along a little bit. Mitch Evans, just a couple of riders further around the corner as well, in that 5th place. So Jed Beaton, in his rookie season in MXGP, hits the line now. Not too bad a lap time either that he's doing here. 151.3, his fastest lap of the race actually as he goes through. The only riders below the 150s are your top 3, Maxime Renault, Jeremy Seewer, Tim Geiser. Then it's 50s for Coldenhoff and Evans, 51 for Prado, 51 for Beaton. 1/10 quicker than Prado that time around, was the number 14. Mattia Guadagnini just behind him, the 101. So the Red Bull Gas rider. Oh, chase your front wheel through there, Max. Lost the front end, dragged his right foot through the ground as well, managed to stay upright. Just some kind of indication as to how hard Maxime Renault is pushing just to keep himself ahead of his teammate. That gap's still 3 seconds. So Maxime Renault, fourth in the championship at the start of the weekend. Three-time race winner, once in Argentina race 1. He did the double in Spain for his maiden Grand Prix victory. Hasn't been on the podium since then, where he was 8th overall in France. He didn't start in Germany because of his crash, missed Indonesia. And what a way to welcome yourself back to the MXGP World Championship with a potential race win and a visit to the podium. First time of asking. I guess no pressure on the shoulders coming into this one either. He'll be 2nd overall behind his teammate Seewer. Seewer will be looking to take his 2nd Grand Prix victory of the campaign as well. But this is very impressive for Maxime Renault. To say he's missed 2 whole rounds and that he's still 4th in the championship in his rookie season says a lot about the rider as well. I was talking to another team owner this morning, and he said, when I was talking about him, I was saying how, bit of a kick there though, saying how impressed he was by Maxime Renault. He said he's absolutely a beast. To come back after the back injury that he had, if he was watching him now, slight mistake there though, he would probably be saying he's definitely a beast, because it was lower back that was the issue. Tim Geiser heading up over Monster Energy Mountain, still there in 3rd place. He's on 42 points at the moment. Yet to win here before we come here. And as things stay as they are, he'll be on the podium. But it'll be another year where the Slovenian has not stood on the top step of the podium here in Loket in the Czech Republic. But he does have a commanding points lead. He's going to be 125 points clear, as he was at the start of the day. That's 5 individual races clear of his nearest rival, which is going to be Jeremy Seewer, who moves from 3rd to 2nd in the championship. So I don't think Geiser will mind too much about that. There's always next year, they say, isn't there? Anyway, Roger Harvey's down in pit lane, getting ready to speak to Lisa Leyland. And how you going, Rog? You're right.
Roger Harvey, at the moment we see Tim Geiser in 3rd. He's got a massive points lead. What's the approach of the team? What's the approach of him? Because at the moment he seems super chilled. Yeah,
it's very difficult because he's, as we know, leading the championship by a long way. So it's a case of caution. And talking to Tim between the races, he was saying the track is quite sketchy. You know, it's very bumpy. We've had a lot of little bikes racing around here, so the bumps are probably different to what they are, you know, when there's just the big bikes going around. So strategy for the team is always to win. Strategy for Tim is always to win, but when you've got a cushion, you have to manage things, and that's exactly what he's doing, you know. You've got to keep it upright in the first corner, so important. So, yeah, he'll look at 3rd, he'll have a push. This is my thoughts. He'll have a push, see how he's feeling, see if he says it's really slippy, you know, a little bit of dust on top, and here in the Czech Republic it's really gritty, so like bikes floating about all the time, so hopefully he can get higher than 3rd.
Best of luck to the team. Thank you, Roger.
Meanwhile, 4 laps later, Rog. Anyway, Maxime Renault continues to lead. 1.9 seconds clear now, Jeremy Seewer. The gap between 1st and 2nd is coming down. Geiser is here in 3rd, and as we just heard a moment ago, probably content to stay there as well. All eyes on the battle over the next 14.5 minutes between first and second. The two Monster Energy Yamahas of Maxime Renault and Jeremy Seewer. Seewer victorious in race 1. And Geiser, though, not going anywhere. He hasn't set the fastest lap for the race, but he has set the fastest lap that time around. 150.6 for both Renault and Seewer, 49.8 for Geiser. All of a sudden, he looks like with 14 minutes plus 2 to go, might just decide, you know what, there's a door there, I might just knock on it. And you can see him visibly closing in on Seewer once again. So, will he get to stand on the top step of the podium, yes or no? If he was comfortable to sit there in third, then no. But if he can go by Seewer, that'll give him another couple of points, moving up to 44. And of course, if he can get past Renault, then he will. Anyway, Jorge Prado confirmed with the Fox Holeshot. It's very tight as him and Seewer went through the first turn, but coming out of the first turn, Jorge Prado over the Fox Holeshot line for the 13th time this year. Three-time winner around here, Jorge Prado, 2019, 18, 19 and 21. The last 3 visits, so down in 6th place at the moment, 6th overall. Probably be a few people scratching their head as to why that might be. But Renault responding as Adam Sterry looking down at the bike over on this left side. First Grand Prix this year for the Welshman. Spends his time riding in the German championships at the moment. But the gap, 2.4 seconds as it stands now between Renault and Seewer. Geiser right there is about another 2.4 seconds further back. So, again, with 12.5 to go, which way is this one going to go? But Roger Harvey saying, talking to Geiser between races. We'll put that conversation up in a minute, but so far, no change in the top 3. 12 minutes plus 2 laps remain. MXGP Race 2. It's round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship. And we are in Czech Republic at Loket. This is Brent Van Donnik. He is in 11th place. Van Donnik, number 32. But just ahead of them, Calvin Volanderen down the inside of Mattia Guadagnini takes over 8th place. But Van Donnik, just a moment ago, was on the Riley Racing Yamaha. Watch this here. Got better drive, turned tighter at the top end. Volanderen alongside Guadagnini, gave him no options here, but to stay to the outside. An easy pass in the end for the number 10. He's now got number 14, Jed Beaton, ahead of him in 7th place. Good ride this. Still hanging in there with 11 minutes to go, Jed Beaton. Mitch Evans up in 5th place. Just ahead of Prado. It's going to be 5th overall. Season's best for Mitch Evans. Ten laps complete. Beaten now under pressure from the number 10 of Volanderen, Guadagnini, and then Guillot just behind him. So Valentin Guillot on the IXS Hostetler Yamaha as Beaton goes wide, chases the dirt. Volanderen try to get up the inside of him. Beaton being urged on by his mechanic down there in pit lane a moment ago. Good to see Valentin Guillot there as well, number 92. Multi-time Swiss champion. I think he finished 2nd in the French championship just recently. So back in action in MXGP this weekend with IXS Hostetler Yamaha. This time Volanderen down the left-hand side at the bottom of the hill. And cuts back to the inside, goes high and wide, finds his way around the outside of Beaton and takes over that 7th place. Beaton didn't finish race 1. So I wonder how much extra track knowledge he may have had with the changing conditions of the racetrack towards the end of the lap of the race. Verlanderen up the inside, look, got over the double, kept the outside, kept the momentum, dropped it to the inside. Nice move from the South African. And he's got clear track ahead of him now. Jorge Prado that has the whole length between turn 1 and 2 ahead of Verlanderen. Here is Prado. And Guillot has also found his way past Guadagnini as well. So the number 92 easing past the 101. Top 9 finish for Valentin Guillot at the moment. That's what it's looking like. He's had a couple 10th places earlier on this year in Spain. '13th in race 1. Currently 9th in race 2. Going to be 9th overall for him. Brian Bogus here, 189, going after the 32, the Riley Racing Yamaha of Brent Van Donnick. So the standing construct Husqvarna rider, the lone standing construct rider in the race after Paul Jonas fell on the opening lap down the bottom end of the circuit. Valentin Guillot, just mentioned him a moment ago, finding his way past the 101 of Guadagnini to get himself into that 9th place. Looks pretty comfortable out there as well, doesn't he? Van Donnick looking desperate to find his way past Guadagnini. So the rider in white there, number 32, decides to change the line to the outside. Got to be careful not to leave the door open. Said that so many times this weekend. But the track at its most challenging now. Hard and slick, a lot of square edge bumps. We've had a lot of youth action out on the racetrack here this weekend. As Van Donnick breezes past Guadagnini as well and moves into 10th place. Following Valentin Guillot through. Brian Bogus would have seen that as well. So if he's not found his way past the Italian on the Red Bull Gas. Oh, hello. Fighting back. Guadagnini back up the inside of Van Donnick. Did he case the triple there and just mess up? Because he wouldn't have been expecting that, would he? So back into 10th place then, Guadagnini. What's the gaps between the front runners actually? Renault, Seewer there, almost 4 seconds apart. Seewer probably knows he's got the win in his back pocket. So Guadagnini didn't like it when Van Donnick found his way through a lap ago. Responded, just showing a little bit of fighting spirit, the number 101. Obviously doesn't mind this place. He won here last year in MX2, but whole different ball game in MXGP. Bikes are more powerful, heavier. They react differently at speed to the bumps around this racetrack. Oh, thought about going back around the outside, didn't he? Van Donnick playing perfectly into the hands of Brian Bogus behind them in 12th place, and he's already there getting good drive. Van Donnick looks left, Bogus goes right. He stays low through this next section as well, and he goes around the outside of Van Donnick. Bogus then picking off the Belgian. Moves into 11th place. Eyeing up the 101 of Guadagnini. Cuts more to the middle of the turn there. Sailing over that double there for Guadagnini. But with 5 minutes to go, Renault, Seewer and Geiser unchanged at the head of the field. Brent Van Donnick already losing time to Guadagnini and Brian Bogus, as Bogus now goes after the Italian on the Red Bull Gas. Standing construct Husqvarna, second rider in shot here. has done very well on the hard-packed surfaces this year, has to be said. Third overall in Portugal, third overall in Spain. His 2 podiums this year. Puts it down to probably winter riding down in Spain. The father-in-law, former 2-time world champion, John van der Berg. He's getting closer to Guadagnini. Follows him through here. Again, tight to the inside. No, he decides to go wide. And that's why, because the exit of that inside line pushes to the outside. Big accelerating bumps there, holding up the rear wheel of Guadagnini. He's now put himself under pressure, and we're going to see another pass here around the outside, just like he did to Van Donnick. And it is a sweet move around the outside for Bogas as well. And he moves into 10th place. So a good late race charge for Brian Bogas. 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Mitch Evans and Jorge Prado. Evans being caught now. A 1:55.1 compared to a 52.4. Where was that? That's just over the course of the lap. So maybe Mitch Evans just starting to feel the heat a little bit here. Goes on the defensive, closes down the door to the Spaniard, who is looking at picking back 5th place. And he does. A mistake on the exit of the turn for Mitch Evans allows Prado through. The Australian fighting back, though. Doesn't look like there's going to be any way back from there. And Prado now 5th. Oh, Guadagnini hit neutral. Doesn't lose any time, though. Just under 2.5 minutes remaining. Jorge Prado just found his way back past Mitch Evans. Mitch Evans was in 5th. He's now in 6th. Prado also taking over 5th place in the overall classification. Evans dumped down to 6th in that as well. But just starting to fade in the latter stages of the race here, Mitch Evans for Team HRC. Jorge Prado gets his head down. What's the gap between him and Glenn Coldenhoff, actually? About 7 seconds. Back marker's just there. So we can't quite see the Hoff. But it's Renault who still leads, 4.5 seconds clear of Jeremy Seewer. I just wonder whether Seewer got the message just to sort of back it down and bring it home safe. That was the message from Roger Harvey that we got when we did a mid-race pit lane interview with him. But Tim Geiser would probably follow a similar thing because of the conditions of the racetrack. A lot of youth out there on track, different braking bumps, different lines, all the rest of it. And of course, it's warm and there's a lot of action on the racetrack. So it's dry, it's hard, it's slick. There's a lot of edges out there. There's a decent wind blowing around as well, so everything is just changing lap after lap after lap. The riders are riding around on marbles at this late stage of the day. That's how slick it is. So you push, you risk making a mistake. Right, Valandren all over the back of Evans now. This is for 6th place. So the lap time's just dropping off significantly now for Evans as he comes under attack from Valandren. He tries to close him down. There's no way that he can defend that, though. Or can he? He tries to keep it in there. He's doing his best to stay ahead of the 10. But Valandren pops up and he tries to take him to the outside, but Valandren makes the pass stick. Valandren now up in the 6th place. 20 seconds on the clock. Is Renault going to go through? Just keeping an eye on the clock here. He's got 15 laps in the books. Yeah, 3 seconds to go on the clock as Maxime Renault goes through. So it's going to be 3 long laps for Mitch Evans now then. He's 7 seconds clear, 7.5 seconds clear of Jed Beaton, who's in 8th place. He may be able to find his way back past and into 7th. So let's keep an eye on the lap times. Evans, 1:56.6 last time. Beaton, 1:53.6. Well, the two Aussies going to change positions. Renault, 4.3 seconds clear. That's him bottom right, just to the right side of pit lane. There's his teammate, Jeremy Seewer. And Bogas has found his way past Guillaume. So Bogas now up into ninth. Guillaume down in 10th place. This is Maxime Renault. Heading uphill. 3.9 seconds clear of Jeremy Seewer. And what's that about the length of that downhill? But what a return to action for Maxime Renault. Monster Energy Yamaha rider capitalised on a mistake from Seewer, his teammate, on the opening lap to take over the lead. The Swiss rider tried to respond. Maybe thought he would find a way back past him in the latter stage of the race. The backhand lets go on him. But Maxime Renault has just been too good in this second race. Very easy to make a mistake, as you can see, look. That's how it looks on the podium right now. 2 Yamahas and a Honda, Seewer, Renault and Geiser. It'll be Renault's first visit to the podium since he was victorious in Spain 4 rounds ago. And this is how he made it to the front early on in the race. Seewer led, bottom right corner, buries the back end there, comes around on him. Just better drive on the uphill. Closed down the door, made the move on his teammate, and that was Renault taking the lead. 3.7 as they hit the line a moment ago between first and second. I was about to ask the question, are we going to see one big push from Seewer on these final 2 laps? But when you're losing the front end like that, it may be just the warning signs that just hold fire. You've got 7 seconds over third place rider Geiser. Don't need to. Watch this. Folds the front there. Fortunately, up on 2 wheels, though. Here is Geiser, top of the hill. This is the bottom end of the circuit. Just over a lap to go. Tim Geiser coming into Czech Republic, having never won a Grand Prix here. That trend continues for the Team HRC rider, but he will still leave here 125 points clear of Jeremy Seewer. Seewer started 5 points behind Jorge Prado at the start of the day in third. He will leave here 10 points clear of the Spaniard. Just have to be so smooth on the throttle in how you execute these turns as well on this hard, slick surface. Bogas has found his way past Beaton now, moves up into 8th place. That was probably about a lap ago. So Evans in 7th, Bogas in 8th, and actually Bogas only 2 seconds adrift of Evans at the start of the lap. Into the final lap for Maxime Renault. The Frenchman looking at taking his 4th race win of the season. Down past pit lane. Things just tightening up there as we drop into that bottom turn. Back markers on the horizon. There's Maxime Renault. 2.4 seconds as we go into the final lap. This is Renault's race to lose now. He knows if he does just back off, Jeremy Seewer will probably push towards the end. And there is Seewer just closing in on this tabletop here. And Seewer will carry on, you know. But I think Renault will just have enough in the tank. Up and over Monster Energy Mountain for the final time. Maxime Renault continues to lead his Monster Energy teammate, Jeremy Seewer, on what has been a very good day for Yamaha this weekend across the board. Without giving anything away from the previous racing in MX2. Just 3 corners to go. Maxime Renault, easy on the gas, triples in for the final time. Uphill for the final time as well. And Maxime Renault will head towards the finish line. His 4th race win of the season. Maxim Renault wins the race, but Jeremy Seewer will take the overall win. He will win the Czech Grand Prix, and it will be a Monster Energy Yamaha 1-2 as well. Tim Geiser will cross the line in 3rd place in the race. It will be 3rd overall for the points leader, Tim Geiser. And for Maxim Renault, his 15th race win of his career. But the overall finishes Seewer, Renault and Geiser. Glenn Coldenhoff crossed the line in 4th place, about 11 seconds behind Tim Geiser. Then we had Jorge Prado just over the line in 5th, Verlander in 6th. Evans held on for 7th, ahead of Bogas, 1.2 seconds in it between those two. Brian Bogas was 8th, Valentin Guillaume 9, and Jed Beaton hangs on for 10th place. There he is, just bottom of his screen. Then we had Guadagnini and Van Donnick. Watson on the line now in green. Look, there he is in 12th place. And that'll be 11th overall for the Kawasaki rider. Watson 13, Monticelli 14, and his Honda, JM Honda teammate, Jacoby 15, Albi Ferrato, SM Action Racing, USA Battery Gas 16, Tom Cox 17, the 226 on the KTM Cossack team coming home in 17th, head of the Ship to Cycle Honda SR Motor Blues rider Benoit Paturel, IXS Ostetli Yamaha of Kevin Brumman, and the 188 of Dusan Dadac. And as is always the way, the fans will flock to the podium. And it will normally be quite raucous, although it won't be the Slovenian national anthem this weekend. It will be the Swiss, because Jeremy Seewer will stand on the top step of the podium here in Czech Republic.
Just on the soil where those your heroes were started.
45 podiums now for Jeremy Seewer, 9 of those as a winner. Here he is with Lisa Leyland.
Jeremy Seewer, you've been solid all weekend. A race win in that first race, a second in that second race to get your 2nd overall of the season. How are you feeling right now?
Well, it's amazing to be 3 out of 3 motos, you know, here having the interview. So super happy. Yeah, another GP win, you know, amazing. Even though one small mistake too much this weekend in the opening lap, because I got 3 out of 3 hole shots this weekend. Yeah, Maxim got me and he rode a really good race, but still happy to keep team behind and gain some points and another overall. I mean, tomorrow is my birthday, so I couldn't make it any better.
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Jeremy Seewer tickled pink with his overall victory here this weekend. A winner in race 1, 2nd in race 2, did enough to get the job done. Takes over 2nd place in the championship as well. Good day all round. Qualifying win. Fox Holeshot in race 1. Close to a Fox Holeshot in race 2, but you know what? He'd rather take the overall, wouldn't he, than a black plate? Give you official confirmation then of the race here in race 2. Maxim Renault wins it from his Yamaha teammate Jeremy Seewer. Tim Geiser 3rd for Honda, Glenn Coldenhoff 4th, and then we got Jorge Prado on the gas. Verlander in 6th, Evans 7th, Brian Bogas on the Husqvarna in 8th place, and Valentin Guillaume and Jed Beaton. Then we got Mattia Guadagnini, Brent Van Donnick, Ben Watson, Ivo Monticelli, Henry Jacoby, Albi Ferrato, Tom Cox, Benoit Paturel, Kevin Brumman and Dusan Dadac. Jeremy Seewer on the top step here in Loket, edging out his teammate Maxim Renault. Fantastic return from injury. And Tim Geiser, who still has yet to win here at Loket. Glenn Coldenhoff 4th, Prado 5th, Verlander and Evans, Bogas, Guadagnini and Guillaume rounding out the top 10. And in the championship, Tim Geiser maintains his very comfortable cushion, 125 points over Jeremy Seewer, who now moves up into 2nd, pushing Prado down to 3rd. The gap between those two now 10 points. We've got Renault and Coldenhoff running out the top 5. No Fernandez here this weekend, sadly. Hopefully, we see him back sooner rather than later. Jonas and Bogas round out the top 8. How's the atmosphere, guys? Honda continue to lead the way in the Manufacturers' Championship from Yamaha. Not too much in it there, look. And then Gas, Husqvarna, Kawasaki, KTM and Beta. Fantic and Suzuki on page 2. I think we need a few more flags and a bit more noise, don't you? Let's add a bit more smoke in there as well. Our track crews will be pulling everything down because we've got a quick turnaround. 7.5 hours, 8 hours up the road. Belgium, the MXGP of Belgium in a few days' time in Lommel. That is how tight it was. That is why we took so long to determine the outcome. Jorge Prado with the Fox Holeshot for the 13th time this season. Tim Geiser remains on 4. Henry Jacobi on 3. Seewer on 3. 1 apiece for Ben Watson, Calvin Villana and Paul Jonas and Glenn Coldenhoff. You know what? Just seeing stuff like this gets me buzzing for the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at the end of September at Redbud in the USA. Third overall this weekend at the MXGP of Czech Republic. Team HRC's Tim Geiser. A second and a third. But he maintains a healthy championship lead. Maxime Renault, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP, second overall, a third and a win for him. Welcome back, Maxime. But it's his teammate Jeremy Seewer at Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP that wins with a first and a second. His second Grand Prix win of the season. His 45th podium, his 9th career Grand Prix victory. And what a place to do it as well. Fantastic atmosphere here in Lockett. Richard Gironi, ACCR CEO, handing the third place trophy to Tim Geiser. 97 podiums now for the Slovenian. 18 of those as a third place finisher. Peter Adamic, the Mayor of Lockett, once again, thank you, sir, and all of your team and your backroom staff and everybody else that helps put on a race out here at this fantastic racetrack. Jan Stovicek, the FIM board member, hands another winner's trophy. Win number 9 now for Jeremy Seewer. This one here in Lockett in Czech Republic. First time he's won here as well. Lou Vosters, team owner for the Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP team, collecting the team trophy, but Antonio Elia Portela, the FIM CMS director, will deliver the championship leader's red plate to Tim Geiser. He still has a 5-moto advantage over Jeremy Seewer as we head to round 14 in 1 week's time in Belgium at Lommel. Jeremy Seewer, Maxime Renault, Tim Geiser, your top 3 here in the Czech Republic. Your top three here this weekend, round 13 of the FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Czech Republic here in Locket. Jeremy Seewer victorious with a first and a second for his second Grand Prix victory of the season, heading out his Monster Energy Yamaha teammate Maxime Renault, who was a third and a first place finisher here today. Tim Geiser, the championship leader, third overall with a second and a third, and he maintains his grip on the championship leader's raid plate. We will talk to the top three in just a few moments' time. Here's what happened in MXGP Race 2. It was tight over the Fox Holeshot line between Jeremy Seewer and Jorge Prado, but it was Jorge Prado. But by the time he got to turn 2, it was already Jeremy Seewer who led the way. Maxime Renault was in second. Geiser went from 4th to 3rd as he found his way past Coldenhoff down the first hill. And then a few corners later, Seewer just spun up the back end, lost the lead to his teammate Maxime Renault, and from there no one saw him. Geiser was there in 3rd place, Coldenhoff 4th. Later on in the race, Calvin Bellandren got the better of Mattia Guadagnini, although Guadagnini did respond, those two fighting over 8th place at that time. Bellandren then went round the outside of Jed Beaton to eventually move into 7th. And then Van Donnet got the better of the Belgian, of the Italian, but then again, that was reciprocated. Prado eventually caught Mitch Evans, that put him into 5th place. Bellandren would also find his way past the Australian. Prado would come home 5th, Bellandren 6th, Evans would be 7th, but it was Maxime Renault who was victorious in race number 2 by 3.2 seconds for his 3rd race win of the season. His 4th race win of the season, I should say, but behind them, Jeremy Seewer and Tim Geiser, with Coldenhoff and Prado rounding out the top 5. Of course, the overall classification belonged to Jeremy Seewer, Maxime Renault and Tim Geiser. And Lisa is getting ready to speak to them now.
Jeremy Seewer, congratulations. Another GP victory. Fantastic starts all day. Race win in that first race. A little mistake in that second race cost you the lead, but you've got you're second in the championship standings now, which you must be happy about.
Especially after Indonesia, you know, that was so frustrating. I mean, I've won a GP, I've won a moto in Germany. I'm so strong, and then, yeah, Indonesia wasn't going to plan. But I'm back, I'm here, another GP win, especially after a super tough week. So, yeah, looking forward, a few GPs to go, and I'm not giving up. I'm not a quitter, you know, I work hard and harder than ever, and yeah, we will calculate the points at the end of the season, and I will give my best. So thanks to everybody. The fans were amazing this week, and I was really surprised. Like, lots of flags, different countries, you know, that was honestly, yeah, really amazing to see, and thanks to them.
Thank you. Second overall today, we